Welcome to the NBA 2K G League show. I am your host, Varun Charya, and welcome to the show. So, I'm here in Orlando for the NBA G League showcase. Right behind me is the Orange County Convention Center. And so I thought in this video, really quick video, I wanted to do a preview for today's games. I'll try to do my best to get one again tomorrow and probably like a recap. I'm only allowed to go in Saturday when fans can technically go in. But I am trying to do my best to give you guys as much coverage as I can as a fan. So, yeah, I'm really excited. So, let's get straight into it. So, our first game that we're going to be talking about is the South Bay Lakers versus the Greensboro Swarm. That's obviously big because Bronny James, yes, indeed, is going to be playing in the G League Showcase this year. One of the biggest things that we want to keep in mind is the Lakers and Bronny thought this was probably the best decision for his development. I think JJ Redick talked about that Bronny needs to overcome, fears of failure, and I think that's a really important thing for him as he continues to, grow in his career. And he's getting more reps now than he did when he was at USC. So this is a really good opportunity for him. You got guys like Devontae Graham, who recently just joined the South Bay Lakers, who's trying to show NBA scouts that he can still play in the NBA. And obviously guys who, might not be on the NBA scouts' radars, but you never know. They have a good performance. They do the little things that don't show up in the stat line. Those things that NBA scouts want to see. All right, our next game that we're going to be talking about is the Iowa Wolves versus Stockton Kings. So the Iowa Wolves, one of the biggest players there is Leonard Miller. Leonard Miller, who is a second year for the Minnesota Timberwolves, has been having a very good year this year. I think it's important to keep in mind that even if he's not getting minutes with Minnesota, he's getting the opportunity to show his game to other NBA scouts. And, we have a trade deadline coming up in February, so this is a good opportunity for him to maybe, show other NBA organizations that he can play for them if he's not getting a chance in Minnesota. So our next set of games is the OKC Blue versus the Grand Rapids Gold. That's also going to be an important game because that is for the tip-off tournament, and actually so is Stockton and the Iowa Wolves game. The tip-off tournament is a 8-team tournament where it was, I believe, the best team from each region of a G League, which was there was 4 of, and then the next 4 best teams record-wise all compete in a mini tournament, which kind of, if you know the NBA tip-off tournament, it kind of came from the G League doing it first. So, this is a big opportunity for guys because if the team wins, they get $100,000, which is really good. So for our next game is the Raptors 905 versus the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. Frank Kaminsky is going to be making his G League debut with the 905. I'm really excited to see how he goes against guys like Thon Maker and Nafale Dante. It's going to be a really fun matchup to watch that and really see how he can help this 905 team, who has had a lot of challenges because they've had injuries, they've had guys called up that they didn't really, anticipate for initially, and so they've had to really work with players, really work with their team to try to get the best out of them. But I think Kaminsky is going to be a huge help for this team. Next, we got the Valley Suns versus Westchester Knicks. This is really exciting because you get to see Mamadi Diakite play his former team, the Westchester Knicks, because he was with New York last year. He got called up, and it's just always exciting to see how he's going to do against the Valley Suns. This is a time where you don't get to see a lot of teams from like the East and West really play against each other. It's not really as common because of the way the G League is. You see, usually they play games in regions that are close to them. They don't play every single team in the season. So this is a really cool opportunity to see, an East team play a West team. All right, for our last game of the evening, we're going to be talking about the Memphis Hustle versus the Windy City Bulls. Now, this is notable because fourth-year Chicago Bulls guard Chris Duarte actually got assigned to the Windy City Bulls recently. And it's interesting because guys who are typically in their 4th year can usually veto being assigned to the G League. So this makes me think that this was a decision that he wanted to, come by. And he hasn't really played for Chicago. He's been averaging 4.2 minutes a game. And from a GM standpoint for Chicago, it's a really smart move because with all the scouts that are going to be at the showcase this week, they're going to get to see Chris Duarte, and he's also on an expiring contract. So this gives Chicago an opportunity to potentially move in by the deadline, this coming February. Dennis Smith Jr. signing. Now, as of right now, checking G League transactions, the website, there's still nothing about Dennis Smith Jr. signing anywhere, so I still don't know where he's going to be playing, for which team. Technically, the Capitanes have, I guess, the top on their waiver order, so maybe he goes there. I think Luis King just got bought out, so now they're down one player, so maybe it's a possibility. But, another G League team and a team that he wants to try to target for could trade for his, rights from the Capitanes or even the Long Island Nets, who also have the top, waiver order in the pool. So they would, I guess, usually trade draft rights, but it is something to be looking out for in the showcase. As I think this is it for this preview. I'll try to maybe get another video out with a recap later today. But yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a really fun few days, and I'm really excited for Saturday.